start. It gives me pleasure to be delivering the convocation address at one of the India's oldest and pioneering engineering institute. For the graduating students, this occasion represents a major milestone. I congratulate you on this seminal occasion. You are leaving this historic campus for the excitement of a career in a world full of opportunities. Today is also a proud day for your parents and families. They have sacrificed a lot to make your future brighter and provided you emotional and financial support in all your endeavors. I congratulate them on your success. The success of the graduating students is also a tribute to the faculty of IIT Roorkee, which is among the best and the brightest in our country. You have nurtured malleable minds into mature professionals. My good wishes to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this institute possesses a rich history and heritage. Founded in the year 1847 as the Roorkee College, this institute has made immense contribution to the nation's scientific progress. In 1949, it became independent India's first engineering university. In 2001, it was declared as an institute of national importance and brought into the fold of the IIT system. After independence, several iconic engineering projects were executed by the engineers and professionals coming from this institute. Professor A. N. Khosla, who was conferred with a Padma Bhushan and later on Padma Vibhushan, was a student of this great institute. He was responsible for the designs of Bhakra and Hirakund dam projects. He also contributed to public life as a parliamentarian and later on as governor of Odisha. Another former student, Professor Jai Krishna, set up the country's first interdisciplinary school on earthquake engineering and developed the Indian standards for earthquake resistant design. He was also conferred with the Padma Bhushan. The list of your illustrious alumni is a long one. They have distinguished themselves as corporate leaders, entrepreneurs, civil servants, technocrats, researchers, and so on. Many of the alumni of IIT Roorkee have been nation builders in true sense. I believe that the alumni of this great institute can and should contribute to their alma mater. They were fortunate to receive world class education which was substantially funded by the taxpayer, that is, by the nation. There is a moral obligation to pay back and to help those less privileged in whichever manner the individual prefers. It would be best of the course in this process of paying back enriches education and scholarship at the grassroots of our society. The obligation is on IIT Roorkee authorities to involve and invite alumni, many of whom are well placed in other universities or in industry, to come back and teach here, even if for short periods or for specific courses. If procedures need to be simplified to achieve this, then efforts must be made. Ladies and gentlemen, institutions such as IIT Roorkee are not just centers of education, they are also hubs of innovation and creative ideas. And it is research, innovation, and creative ideas that will help us achieve our national goals as well as address the larger concerns confronting humanity today. We have set ourselves a goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2025. We have committed to achieving sustainable development goals adopted by the United Nations. We also wish to play our role in addressing global concerns such as climate change. In the long term, our success lies in developing a culture of enterprise and ideas. We must nurture innovation and creativity, and I am happy to note that IIT Roorkee is doing just that. The Tides Business Incubator here supports startups and early stage companies working on emerging technologies. Creative thinking on campus has been encouraged by doing away with hierarchy among academics and by giving students a representation in academic bodies and decision making. Dear students, today more than 2,000 of you will graduate. I have been informed that over 1700 undergraduates and postgraduate degrees as well as 309 doctoral degrees will be conferred. Apart from those graduating in engineering, there are students who will graduate in fields such as management, economics, and psychology. I am told that the number of PhDs being awarded today is the highest ever for the institute. Such a trust on research is indeed a healthy sign. Researchers here are working on technologies and products that contribute to the well being of their fellow citizens. These include working in cutting edge fields such as nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, computer vision, and biomaterials. Some of your recent achievements include development of interlinked block masonry technology for rapid construction of earthquake proof houses. I am told that Niti Aayog has recommended construction of a model house in Uttarakhand using this technology. Low cost solar cells that use different materials and rechargeable batteries for storing renewable energy. This is consistent with our national goal of using more renewable and clean energy. Smart grid technology that leverages advances made in ICT to facilitate flow of energy and information. This will help us achieve reliable and stable power supply and reduce energy losses. Ladies and gentlemen, I have referred to the technological and economic contribution of IIT Roorkee in our national development. I would also be mention some of its other initiatives. Earlier, I am told that different hostel timings applied to boys and girls, but recently these have been made same. This is allowing girl students to work in their departments, labs, library in the same manner as boy students. This is an example of giving girl students an equal opportunity to excel. I am sure this will positively impact the contributions made by girl students and boost their self confidence. Such steps will encourage girl students to take up scientific and technical education. Presently, the proportion of girl students in our scientific and technical institute is lower than desirable. In my capacity as President of India, I get an opportunity to attend convocations of many universities, and often I find that girl students outshine the boys. We have to take necessary steps to improve the enrollment of our girl students in scientific and technical institutes of higher learning. When this happens, our scientific achievements will become even more wholesome and desirable.